Well, it's actually Ashley Morrison there, Chris, but thank you. It is New Zealand versus Belgium, the final game on day 2 of the Vitality Women's Hockey World Cup 2018. And this will be a really keenly contested match. There's no doubt about that. Both teams will want to get off to a winning start, and you can see the concentration on the faces in the tunnel. Just waiting for the cue. And Grace, I think, just realising the camera was on her and that we were almost inside her mind. Stacey Mickelson, her opposite number, is making her way forward now, and the players come out. And this will be a really important match in this pool. Australia were victorious over Japan by 3-2 last night. They showed that it is a very, very tight pool, Pool D. And so they will want to get a victory, both these teams, to stay in touch with Australia and get that direct qualification spot through to the quarterfinals. So first of all, though, the national anthems and the national anthem of New Zealand. They take the applause from the crowd. And now it is the national anthem of Belgium. And plenty of support for Belgium here at the Lee Valley Hockey and Tennis Centre. Lots of colour, and they will be calling on their team to perform today. Take a look, Sally Rutherford starts in goal for the Black Sticks, one of the oldest keepers here at 37 years of age. Emma Thompson will be important in defence, so too Brooke Neal. And then in the midfield, look out for Sam Charlton combining with Stacey Mickelson and Anita McLaren. And up front, Olivia Merry doesn't often get the credit she deserves, but she scores goals in big tournaments for the New Zealanders. Aisling de Hoog starts in goal for Belgium. And in the back of the defence, Pouvre will be a key player along with Hillevart. In the midfield, Struik and Neyland and Limoges. Well, they'll be looking to link with these forwards. Their captain, Anouk Ress, and also Versabel and Bone. One final huddle down on the pitch from both teams. Black Sticks there, former captain Anita McLaren. I was talking to Mark Hager after the Commonwealth Games, and he hopes that that gold medal victory there will actually see this team go on and achieve what he believes their talent says they should achieve. They're really getting fired up, the Belgian players. New Zealand finished their huddle. They're in position, waiting for this match to get underway. umpires just hurrying up the Belgians because 10 seconds before we start. So the substitutes sprinting off as we get a close-up of Aisling de Hooge. And it is Belgium in the red that push back and get this game underway. The final match on day 2. Thompson penalised straight away, and a good run forward coming from Jill Bone. And Ashley Morrison, as I mentioned, alongside me, 3-time Olympian Simon Mason. Simon, this is a big, big game with Australia getting that victory over Japan and not doing it easily.
No, it is a big game indeed, Ashley, thank you. And looking forward to seeing how the Belgians cope with what Kate Richardson was described as the New Zealand desire to play big, to be expansive and quick, and can Red Panthers cope with that, or will they get overwhelmed? It's going to be exciting to see.
It certainly is, as it's carried forward immediately by Mikkelsen, who is always dangerous. We saw pre-match that wonderful goal she scored individually against England here. Belgium have really grown in stature in recent times. I was talking to Adam Commons, the Australian, who is their current technical director, and he was saying they believe they can get out of this group. As it goes in the D, a really important tackle coming in from Pouvre, well timed. They've got a player down injured. Slow to her feet is Judith van der Meren.
Absolutely crucial jab tackle, and the ball just being knocked away from the end of Smith's stick. Superb from Pouvre. Where that contact was, it's not that, it's a secondary player just there coming into shot. Van der Meren that takes a hit on the cheek.
I think it was as she was falling, the stick just caught her head as she was going down. So certainly nothing untoward, just one of those unfortunate accidents.
Very clever offensive running from New Zealand in the build-up play to that. Mary cutting left to right infield to allow the overlapping run and that understanding of players running opposite attacking lines.
Well, the first time these two teams ever met was back in 1959. It was played in Brussels and it was a 2-2 draw. Belgium won the second match, 1-0 when they met in what was then the International Federation of Women's Hockey, the equivalent of their World Cup.
The first penalty corner comes from New Zealand. Unfortunately, Pouvre had gone to ground in the tackle in the build-up. She's just unfortunate in getting her feet caught underneath. The ball went free. Nothing malicious or deliberate about it. Just lost her footing, but going to ground, causing the foul within the circle.
And this will be a first up real test for Aisling de Hooge. New Zealand do have a very good penalty corner routine as Mikkelsen makes her way down to inject for the Black Sticks. Punt waits at the second battery. Mary just joins the and around the circle. Comes out, swept low. Good save from Hooge. It's a good save to Denai Brook-Neal.
We'll see it in a replay in a minute, but an odd-looking save in real time, as if she'd gone down on her knees, almost ice hockey style, to drop and deflect it wide.
Well, it certainly did look like, yes, she was almost half down.
You see there, yeah, she did. She only just got a bottom edge. That very nearly sneaked under that right pad. She's dropped her knee down to try and deny it, not really propelling at the save. A little bit fortunate in that early shot on a goal.
Aisling de Hooge, who has just bought her first home with her boyfriend Guillaume. Always exciting when you get your first home. That was in June this year. Played on by Belgium. That was too easy. Brought down well by Liz Thompson. Good pass to Mary. Loyne gets the free hit. Oh, no, in fact, it goes against her. It must have just clipped her foot.
Lloyd doing exactly the right thing, cutting from right to left, saw the overlapping run and tried to pull it back underneath her feet to give the inside pass for the straight line run for Mary.
Another tumble, and now it's a chance for Struijk to push the ball out to the left-hand side. Belgium have got numbers inside the circle. Good defensive play. It's broken loose, and it will be a long corner. Coach Niels Tyson looking fairly pleased on the side. Time to communicate, though. Another good little break down the flank, into the D, trying to pull it back. Good defensive play. Came off Brooke Neal. Brooke Neal was in a really low position, which is what you have to be.
Another person who's in a good low position of our umpires, Carolina de la Fuente. Down really low, just seeing through that forest of legs. Very important for the umpires to get themselves around the play, so they're looking through as few people as possible.
It's not an easy job being an umpire. So many bodies out there. Just like a goalkeeper, Simon, sometimes when they do move, they regret it. That's Michelle Joubert, the other umpire from South Africa. Correct, I think she's a former FIH umpire of the year as well.
You certainly won't catch me correcting your statistics, actually. Not a chance.
Sometimes my memory does let me down. Nicholson trying to weave a little bit of magic on the halfway line. Got the pass away. Now it's the chance for the Black Sticks to come forward. A little bit of space down the right-hand side. In it comes, deflected towards goal, but it was a long way off target. Maybe better to have let that ball run to Gloin.
There was never enough on this. You can see the splash of water from the turf as it gets hit. The stick head going into the turf before the connection on the ball. Never really enough pace on that. Some anti-skill gets the ball very, very nearly across McLaren.
And McLaren picked up possession. Belgium getting numbers back behind the ball. Deflection into the circle. Good defence again. Where was Van der Meren? Played out. Hillevaart should push that ball up the side. Hillevaart again. Will be happy to try and have a high press. Just looking to close down with Samantha Harrison. They're just trying to hem Belgium in at the moment. Again, pushing forward. Ball has been lost. Good recovery there by Charlton.
And New Zealand's press now just getting caught. 4 players the wrong side of the ball. Not a lot of communication. Similar to Belgian pass. Down that right-hand side.
Barbara Nayland just splitting her 2 teammates there. Again, we see good work coming from Van der Meren. So we're at the halfway stage, Simon. Any team do you feel with the ascendancy at the moment?
Not really at this moment in time. Obviously, it feels like New Zealand have had a little bit more offensive possession and territory, but Belgium have had occasional forays and seem to be just playing themselves into the game.
Tries to come wide to Ras, but it goes against New Zealand, and Ras looks to play on. Well, questionable whether Smith was the 5 metres. The long corner has been awarded, so a chance for Belgium to go on the offensive this time. It's really strong defending again. Coming out is Mikkelsen. Cuts infield, looking to weave her way across the pitch. Leaves one defender in a wake. It's a good pass, but just too far ahead of Robinson.
A completely unique ball-carrying position from Mikkelsen. Look at her hands as she carries underneath the ball. It means she can cut the stick underneath and keep the forward momentum before that pass. Absolutely delightful. It means she can take the ball to the air and cut underneath and pull it infield when she needs to.
Stacey Mikkelsen, who apparently her teammates call her the life geek, because she's good at everything. It's almost up there with Nobody, which was John Eales, the rugby player's nickname, because nobody's perfect. In it goes, no deflection though from Belgium. So no goal, although the crowd were getting excited. Nicholson again just weaving past one player, manages to find Smith on the left-hand side. It was a good lead inside the D. Advancing on goal, good clearance by De Hurger. Still alive, Belgium sticks low down. New Zealand players on their knees. Penalty corner has been awarded.
Except umpire happily put her hand up in the air, realising that she just signalled the wrong way. It was in fact a New Zealand, well, knee in the circle really. New Zealand player down on her knees. Took the contact. Hubert very quickly correcting her decision.
Dorr was the player who made the run along the baseline. Comes to Davies now. New Zealand getting plenty of attacking options down the left-hand side, but now they go down the right. Mickelson again involved, helps it forward. And that was just topped, really, from Olivia Merry. Give Belgium the chance to play out, and then she commits a foul, so pressure eases on Belgium as we approach the final 5 minutes of the first quarter. Mark Hager scribbling frantically on his whiteboard.
If we look at just moments back, reflect on that the Mickelson carry through midfield, when it was carried and then played left to left midfield and then punched long towards the circle. More outcomes when they go wide. Down the middle, Belgium seems to be able to congest defence that little bit better.
Kelsey Smith just dispossessed. And Smith gets the decision. In fact, now it goes against it. Pauline Leclerc is the player who got the decision. Connection in midfield from Leclerc, goes back to Foba. Foba looking for options. There's not a lot on at the moment, so she just carries forward and tries to slide a pass right through the heart. As now McLaren picks up for New Zealand. She breaks forward, weaves one way then the other, and then just lifts it over the stick. Smith into the circle on the reverse stick. Good pressure defensively though, coming from Stroik.
Vital defensive pressure from Stroik. Ball coming in, Smith just cuts over it. It's back stick in the end because she's bounced the stick off the turf and just cut across the top of the ball. That's why the class of balls like that. However, it was that pressure from Stroik that was necessary just to rush your opponent.
Davies was beaten by Pouvre, but Pouvre couldn't keep the ball in play. Michelle Stroik, of course, who got a fractured hand just before the Hockey World League semi-finals in Belgium last year and had to miss out. She was replaced by Manuel Simons. Very pleased to be back this time as Clint fails to, or rather McLaren fails to bring it under control. Now a chance to break forward for Cabernet.
No lap down the right-hand side. I'm not convinced Leclerc knew what options she had. She got that ball and made an early decision about rolling back out of contest. It was a two-player overlap down the right-hand side.
Belgium have certainly improved in recent years. Silver medal in the Europeans. Testament to that. It will be a tricky side to play in this pool, there's no doubt about it. And as you said, Simon, they're getting more and more into this game the longer it goes. Certainly in this first quarter, they sat back and absorbed everything New Zealand threw at them.
Did a little bit, but it is growing slowly, but you feel that it's the carry, the individual elimination like this that will pay more dividends than a smash ball into the circle.
Good defence from New Zealand. Van Nalen really was just stranded. There was no one for her to feed inside the circle. Tyson watching on from the side. He was appointed coach in, well, it was initially interim coach in October 2015, and then it was made permanent. It's amazing how many times you see that these days, interim coaches and then finally given the job. Clever play defensively from Eleganson.
A few people, I think, looking interestedly at the England men's job, with Bobby Crutchley stepping away and then Russell Garcia covering it for now, but there's a recruitment process going on for that job as well. So whether Garcia will be given that head coach role.
And of course, there's a job in Ireland as well in the men's game, as into the D go Belgium. Nothing there was the call from the umpire, and appeals though from Joanne Peters. It's a long corner. Certainly Carolina de la Fuente was perfectly placed.
Look how narrow both sides are starting. Belgium playing almost a four-person line in the middle of the field, try and draw the defenders narrow and then pop sideways.
Chance again from the penalty corner. Sorry, long corner. A little bit of pushing and shoving inside the D. Umpires just stepping in.
What's the narrow set I was talking about, actually, is they're screening each other in the circle to create space.
Slapped in. Good stop initially at the top of the D. Trying to steal that. That will be a penalty corner played into the body of McLaren. So the first penalty corner now for Belgium, right in the final seconds of this first quarter. Can they get a goal?
Well, it's clever rotation from Peters. Obviously, no player likes to have the ball put into them, but with McLaren on the floor, it was an obvious choice.
So the clock counting down 40 seconds in which to be ready for the penalty corner.
What are they going to do? I don't know what the interpretation of the umpires has been this tournament. There's 5 seconds to go. Will they let the clock roll down so the hooter doesn't go midway through the routine? So time's back on.
And then Van der Meuren waiting at the top of the circle. Swept towards goal, but it goes wide from... It was Van den Bora. The hooter has gone, so that is the end of the first quarter. I think Belgium feel that there should be another penalty corner. I'm not sure what for. It didn't look anything wrong to me.
No, to me it looked like the straight flick just went wide of the post. There was no appeal from anybody during the process of the corner itself. So the team's into the huddles.
They are indeed. New Zealand 0, Belgium 0 at the end of the first quarter. Nothing much to choose between these two teams. Take a look at the penalty corner again. As Mark Hager will try and read what he's got on his board. Here's the penalty corner. They shift to the right. Van den Bora, or did that clip the foot of the first runner?
If it did, it was such a fine touch. You couldn't see any kind of deflection, change of angle from that behind the goal shot. If it's hit glove of Merry on the post, then it's going to be a long corner, so nothing else.
Certainly, I don't think it did touch the foot. Mark Hager with the whiteboard there. Simon Mason trying to read what it says.
Well, I made out patience in the attacking third was the one line that I did make out, so maybe he's feeling that they're a little bit frustrated as they go into those offensive areas.
We're going to go pitch side now to Krista Cullen.
Hi, I'm with Niels. Just a little bit of a reflection on that first quarter performance. The lion's share has fallen to New Zealand, but then getting that corner at the end there, you know, give us a little bit of a rendition of how you feel and what you talked about just then.
Yeah, I think the way you mentioned it, that was the first quarter. We came into the first quarter in the last minute with a PC, but we struggled under the pressure of New Zealand. We didn't really get out. We didn't win as much as goals as we want to, and I hope the first nerves are off, let's say, and that we're going to continue on the last minute of the first quarter.
Thank you, Niels.
Well, Belgium push back and get the second quarter underway. Approaching was Thompson, played on quickly. Good work by Nayland, had to go back though. I just feel this game, there's going to be plenty of action. It just seems like it's coming to life the longer it goes on.
Doesn't it? It just feels like the Belgians are getting a little bit of belief that there is some space out there, although that is space that McLaren would love to run through.
She finds Gloyn wide, asks for the ball back, gets it back, looks to feed to Gloyn again. Well read and taken out of the air by Pouvre. Stolen back though by New Zealand. Great work by Smith. And eventually it goes out for a long corner.
And that hassle back from Smith is exactly what any coach will want from their forwards. You're just not looking in one direction. Yes, you lose possession, but then the intensity of the attention to the ball is so important.
And nothing coming on the end of Ella Gunson's ball into the circle. Mark Hagar pacing and talking to his eyes up in the stand. No doubt his assistant coach, Sean Dancer, is somewhere. Most of the coaches like to have someone up in the stands because it gives them a slightly different view and perspective of the match. As McLaren picks up again, Gloyn goes wide, McLaren goes to the right-hand side this time. Stolen well again by Barbara Nayland. Short little pass finds her captain, Annick Rass. New Zealand with numbers. Certainly Belgium didn't push numbers forward in that counter-attack. They were completely outnumbered by the Black Sticks.
I think it's quite difficult if a player with the pace of somebody like McLaren does pick the ball up deep in midfield and accelerates.
Here comes Mikkelsen. She's difficult at stop. Into the D, took the shot on it just outside. I think she was hoping she was going to get a touch in front of goal from Gloyn.
It's that carry position again. Look at where the stick position is. She's out in front of her. She's able to lift that if she wants. Tucks underneath to get the ball outside her right foot, rotates the hips and drives. I think she's going for a shot there as that ball's crossing the white line.
I don't think it quite crossed the line, though, as she hit it. She got it a little bit early.
Well, certainly if she did, it was the reach into the shot that opens up the blade of the stick and caused the lift because she was stretching for it. Whether it was a pass or a shot.
Warning signs, though, there for Belgium that they can't allow Mikkelsen to run with the ball. Ouvray goes infield again. Ball picked up by Leclerc. He's out wide. Good strike, deflected to the goalkeeper, saved by Rutherford. Had to be sharp. Waiting right in front of her and ready to pounce was Jill Bone.
This is actually a really smart bit of goalkeeping, that touch. Now she has to punch that forward to get it away. If she just blocked that, then in front of her, Vasava would have been in on goal. It's the move there, right stick in hand together to deny the diving forward any opportunity.
Opportunities now coming at both ends. Good work by Charlton, keeps possession for New Zealand. Great pickup in the midfield by McLaren. Sees a gap, looks to surge through it and then push it forward. She didn't quite get the control over the pass she wanted. Won it back for New Zealand and gets a free hit. Taken quickly by Charlton, who goes onto the reverse. It bounces into the D and it just goes wide. Will be a long corner.
And Joubert deciding that that wasn't dangerous. Those people who are possibly new to this, it's not the height of the ball that it comes into the circle that can be ruled an issue. It's the danger, speed of the ball, danger to other players.
And back well by New Zealand. They're trying to apply the pressure on Belgium, find the foot. Now into the D it goes. Almost a touch that just deflected it towards goal from Gloyn. And it's very interesting just watching there down on the pitch. I don't know if you saw Simon. Van der Meuren was just saying, I can't hear you, which we've heard a few of the players say they're not used to playing in front of such a big crowd and the noise here. And she was saying, I can't hear what you're telling me.
Makes a massive difference, the communication in the back lines, and we've talked a little bit about defensive integrity of teams if they can't hear each other when they're used to. It definitely makes an absolutely huge difference. Although it's harking back a long, long way. I was telling somebody about one of my first ever caps was in Pakistan, the Champions Trophy against Pakistan. 55,000 people in metal advertising hoardings when Pakistan had the ball. The crowd hammering on those, and it was literally deafening. You could hear nothing. There was no point really trying to call.
Well, that was a painful blow to the ankle. I think it's Van der Meuren, is it?
Mikkelsen just trying to open up the pass.
Strike it is. Up they get on with things. Deflecting, Mary so close to bringing that one down. Olivia Merry is a very dangerous player inside the circle. Another free hit to New Zealand just outside the D. Played on quickly, had to go the 5 meters. Harrison got it in there, but good defense again. 2 Belgian players closing her down.
I don't know about you, Ashley, but it feels like New Zealand's attack is really narrow, straight down the middle of the pitch towards the head of the Belgian circle. I just feel that if they can get a couple of players out wider to offer some options, they might drag the defence out from the middle of the pitch.
I tend to agree with you. They've looked probably at their most dangerous when Gloyn and Smith have gone a little bit wider and come in round the back of the defence. Picked up easily by Van der Meren. Now carried forward by Limoges.
Belgium have got good numbers here. This is 6 on 4 they've got at the moment.
Driven into the circle, whistle's gone again. Must have just clipped a foot or something as she went to strike that, because umpire Joubert was very quick and there were no complaints from Belgium. Belgian fans beating the drum, trying to stir their players on. Another free hit just outside the circle. Again, they've got numbers. There's nobody wide on the right-hand side, though. And it's been picked up by New Zealand. And who else but driving through the heart of the midfield is Mikkelsen. That's a great pass, releasing Robinson. Brilliant by De Hooge, coming off her line. Well, it was a super pass to Robinson, but De Hooge coming off her line really quickly.
De Hooge read it so early. She was already moving forwards as Stacey Mikkelsen just floated that ball forwards.
And that was just sweep it anyway. A little bit of panic there, I think, from Anne-Sophie Vines.
Here we see this reverse stick. Goalkeeper out early. Good extended front pad to give the vertical saving surface as well as the horizontal width of the body. Very well done. Good core strength.
Play again. Early ball from Davies. Managing to pick out Robinson again. Robinson plays on into the circle, shoots. De Hooge perfectly placed. Robinson gets the rebound, claims she was fouled, but the decision goes against her.
Well, there's a card there. We see the replay of the shot. It's a chop shot from the back foot. De Hooge's weights backwards, but she's played through the ball to get it clear.
Okay.
The big blow on the whistle that we heard was just because the reaction from Robinson brought a stick up and over the tackle. No cards, though.
Now McLaren played it into the foot there of Foba. Good advantage played by the umpires. Still New Zealand on the attack. McLaren screaming for the ball back. She might get it, dinks it forward. Wouldn't drop for Charlton. Appeals for a penalty corner, and they are accepted. Again, we saw good communication between the two umpires there before the penalty corner was given.
Well, Mikkelsen was dancing before this ball came in. It finally falls off the foot to give the penalty corner, but Harrison was putting the pressure on.
20 seconds.
So Mikkelsen running down to the baseline.
10.
Belgium are leaving it mighty fine, the 40 seconds to be ready. McLaren waits at the
Inside.
second battery. Brooke Neal at the first. They go to McLaren. She sweeps it low and it's gone in. New Zealand have the lead. Anita McLaren, I think it may have taken a touch on the way through. Kelsey Smith may well have been the player who got the final touch.
Out to the top and stopped dead. McLaren just brings it in. It is indeed Smith who fires in and just gets the touch over the top of the goalkeeper as she dives down. Has to go down for the first flick. Smith gets the faintest of touch to get the lift there. The touch over the top of Aileen de Hooge's right extended gauntlet.
Kelsey Smith is always such a lively player for the Black Sticks. Did really well to get there, and you feel a little bit sorry for De Hooge because she'd done everything right. And there's not much you can do about those, Simon.
There isn't. As a goalkeeper, you have to anticipate the first shot on goal you have to deal with. What you don't want to get caught doing is thinking, oh, there's a deflection or a tip, I'll stay upright, and then the actual initial shot goes in. You've got to deal with the ball that's dangerous at the time it's flicked.
So now Belgium are going to really have to show what they're made of, and as we said, they were growing in confidence. Bone gets the free hit. Davies has to let her go because she was in that zone. Played wide. Bone continues her run. Lovely steal. Brooke Neal doing really well. McLaren just lifts it over the stick of Hillevaart. And then on the reverse tries to play it out wide onto the right-hand side. Good intercept from Kernier.
Now Belgium have got space down the right-hand side. This is better. They've got leading out wide to create space. Then the ball can go in. Well policed in the middle of the circle, however.
To me, Hillevaart, I'm not sure she needed to actually play that quite so early, Simon. There were no numbers on that front post. Leclerc to Hillevaart again. And that's a good pass now, and a chance for Kernier to get into the circle. Goes onto the reverse stick, just wide of the left-hand post. Certainly Rutherford wasn't moving towards that one.
Fantastic advantage, because the first tackle in the 25 was awful. The reverse stick is allowed to flash past the post. Carolina de la Fuente seeing the opportunity for Belgium and allowing play to go on.
We're approaching the final 4 minutes of the first half. New Zealand's Black Sticks currently in the lead. Kelsey Smith's goal, the difference between the two teams. I feel that it may take more than one goal, I think, to win this match.
Agree completely. I think Belgium were looking more and more comfortable as they came back into it. They have got more and more forward opportunities.
But McLaren and Mikkelsen are beginning to dominate the midfield. That's a super pass. Just unfortunately, Gloin just couldn't bring it under control.
And a really hard pass to execute. Ashley Mikkelsen, she's got her feet halfway around that, but she's had to bring her hands through it and rotate underneath the ball to fire it left to right. You didn't have time to get all the way round.
Lovely steal by Mary. Good recovery, though, defensively. And now a chance to counter-attack. Coming out well was Neal again, and helping clean up at the back was Gunson. This is good from Belgium. Lovely skills. Good pass forward for Russ. It's deflected up. They want a penalty corner. The advantage being played. Can they get the shot away? Belgium, plenty of space there. Deflected up again off the stick. This time I thought it was off Leclerc. Still alive for them. Turn and shot, and it's a goal. Well, the advantage was there, and it was fired home. And Versabel is the player who gets the goal for Belgium. And the fans from Belgium are saluting Versabel. Rutherford is wondering how that got past her.
It was scrappy at best, wasn't it, Ashley? It was just ball into baseline. Turner's shot was just unbalanced. You felt there could have been a penalty corner. The initial swing wasn't given. Bone tries to go to backhand. It's a miss-hit in there. Again, could have been a corner. Finally, it falls. A missed touch, and then the cleanest touch of them all was the final one from Versabel on the back post, who finally, for a player, gets a middle on the ball to punch it into the New Zealand goal.
I did say I thought there'd be more than one goal needed to win this match, and we are tied up again at 1 apiece. You'd have to say Belgium getting what they deserve, I think. Versabel now fired up. She goes marching forward. Girl from Edgeham on her own pretty much in that forward zone, and the ball is played over the side, and she'll just suck some deep breaths in. She said the difference in their mentality recently was when they beat the Netherlands. She said suddenly they realized they could compete with the best in the world.
All of a sudden, Belgium's back line has stepped 5-6 metres higher. They've got 4 players, but they're able to throw one forwards to contest midfield. And it's New Zealand who are looking a little bit heavy-legged in these late minutes of this first half.
And here come New Zealand again. If they play the ball early, Gloin was in a good position. She picks up well. Still has to get past Pouvre. Goes back and gives possession away, and McLaren, that was brave from her as Bone was coming in.
McLaren shouting across the pitch at Robinson. Hagel's hand position suggests that he wanted the right-hand side to come up further as well, because that was the overlap opportunity that McLaren was looking for.
It's easy for him to say that on the bench. As you said, Robinson's got through a bit of work. Maybe she's a little bit more tired than the coach realises. Pouvret can't keep that one in play. We're in the final minute. Still all level. Australia will be watching this game with great interest in Pool D. Australia and Japan. Merry. Again, Gloin dispossessed. A really well-timed tackle from Sophie Limoges. Carries it over to the side. I'm sure she'll just run the clock down. I think she's released a really good pass to Neyland. And Belgium, well, there's 20 seconds left. If they get it in, they could go in with a lead. It's going to come out to the back post. Bone cracks it at goal. Bone scores for Belgium. Well, what a strike from Jill Bone. And you'd have to say Sally Rutherford was just a spectator as that ricocheted back past her. Belgium take the lead in the final seconds of the first half.
You called it in the build-up. It was a crash ball across. McLaren was in the right place and just missed it. Bone's first touch wasn't great, but then she absolutely middles it. Straight forward, through the ball. Rutherford can't get her legs together. That's poor goalkeeping, to be honest, at this level. But Boone absolutely put her bat straight through that ball.
What a strike. So the game really has been tipped on its head. New Zealand, who looked to be in the ascendancy. That one goal scored by Versabel saw the Belgians come back. Surely we can't get another goal in the final seconds. Good defence again, and Bone just hammers it up the pitch. And that will be the final play of the first half. But what a first half we've enjoyed. This game has gone one way and then the other, and it is the Belgian fans who are celebrating at half-time, but there's still plenty left in this game. Belgium making their way off, and they would be happy. Score at half-time, New Zealand 1, Belgium 2. We're now going pitch side, though, to Krista Cullen.
And I'm here with Louise, the first goal scorer to get Belgium back into the game. Just tell me a little bit about how it felt to level up.
It felt great. Of course, we've been defending quite a lot, but I think we stayed strong and we created a few opportunities and we've been very efficient. So I think it's great, and we'll keep defending very hard, try to keep the score.
And is that the plan, the defensive sort of rock and then play on the break?
We just want to play as well as we can, as good as we can, and we start from defense and we go from there.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm here with Mark. Obviously, you guys had the momentum throughout the first half, in our opinion, and then conceded 2 relatively late goals. What's your view now, and how have you set them up for the second half?
Oh, we just got to not be timid. I felt, you know, you're 1-0 up, and then we're making silly mistakes, giving the ball away too easily. We don't hold the possession more than one pass, you're going to get hurt. And in the end, you know, credit to Belgium, they put their 2 chances away. So now we have to fight harder.
Thanks, Mark. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Chris. The feeling is mutual. Well, the crowd were out of their seats at the end of that first half. They're back in them now because they don't want to miss any of the action for the second half, although they have actually moved a little bit closer to the action. New Zealand pushed back, and they've got to get back in this game. Certainly, I agree with Mark Hager's comments that it was New Zealand mistakes, really, that cost them both goals, as another mistake has seen Limoges take the ball forward. No change in the goalkeeping, though. So you just heard Kate Richardson-Walsh, Simon, say that she thinks Belgium can hang on. Your thoughts?
Well, if New Zealand play as narrow as they did in the first half, I would agree, because they've only had to defend 2/3 of the pitch. I just think New Zealand need to play the way that Kate particularly spoke about before the game, which was play big, with width, with real depth, height in attack, and they haven't used all the space particularly well so far.
Gunson, though, gets the ball edge of the D, driving into it. It's going to fall for Mary. Well, a sharp save, and the penalty corner has been given before the save was made. Aisling de Hooger making a really, really good save. Had to make it.
Well, the umpire was trying to allow advantage. The ball was ping-ponging around. That's a brilliant open-handed slap, followed by an exceptional save. The whistle had gone at this point, but what a great connection before Aisling de Hooger dives to her right and pads it away.
So Mary waits, Nia waits, and Anita McLaren. Mary moves now round to the far side, so it's Neil and McLaren. McLaren swoops towards goal, deflection again, and would you believe it, it's Gloyn this time who gets the touch, and New Zealand have pulled it level early in the second half.
Out to the top, and it's a clean trap again. The ball in. This time it's underneath the goalkeeper. It's the same routine. Kate Richardson-Walsh talked about that triple threat off the left side. Look at the extended sticks. It's a deflection underneath the goalkeeper's legs as Aisling de Hooger's dived hard to cover the high tip-in.
Well, that's the perfect response straight after half-time by the Black Sticks. Just what you need. And we're all tied up again. Sorry, Kate, but you were wrong. New Zealand on the attack. Mary again into the D. She goes. Shot low down. Mary makes it 3-2. Well, Olivia Mary, what a strike from her. And now it's the New Zealand fans on their feet.
Oh, Mary cuts in, gets a great bounce off the defence, but now Aisling de Hooger, this is all about whether the goalkeeper can cope, and she can't. She gets her weight wrong, and we criticise Rutherford for the nutmeg. Aisling de Hooger, exactly the same thing. Possibly doesn't set herself early enough, gets her feet caught up, ends up falling on her backside. Needed to stay with hips high and drive across it, but there was enough pace from Mary to just drive it underneath the falling goalkeeper.
Well, Olivia Mary, I believe this is her 199th cap for the Black Sticks, and when you think she missed the Junior World Cup in 2014 because of a rib injury, 10 months later she was playing at the World Cup in The Hague, but wasn't a happy outing for New Zealand, so she'll be really looking forward to this tournament. And I think she's a bit of an unsung hero, you know, for the Black Sticks, because she comes up with goals regularly. So now New Zealand have the lead again. The question is, can they hold on to it? And how are Belgium going to react?
Absolutely right, Ashley. Niels Tyson, even at half-time would have had a structural plan, would have relayed that to his team about what happens in different phases, but I'm pretty certain that none of the comments would have been about if we let two in the first 2.5 minutes of this second half. What do we do then?
Well, what a couple of minutes it's been. I certainly didn't expect New Zealand to take the lead so quickly. Although if we look at the record between these two teams overall, they've played 12 times before today. New Zealand had won 9, Belgium had won 2, and there'd been 1 draw. And New Zealand's first win came in 1960 in their 3rd meeting, and that was a 6-0 victory.
Good cut across midfield, lovely overlapping run down the left-hand side.
Although just got stuck underneath her stick and she couldn't get the pass away. Good skills being shown by Nayland. Brilliant defence though there coming from Charlton. Charlton still going forward, looking for the return pass. It had too much zip on it for her though. Niels Tyson in a deep conversation on the bench with Van den Bora. Here come New Zealand again though. And that was probably the pass to the wrong direction.
It was indeed. He thought Olivia Merry had just held the middle ground and then led wide out to the left to leave the middle space. As she led left, the defence went with her, so the pass didn't need to go there first phase.
Now it's a foot race at the back, running back. And getting there first is Neal. She stays calm. Thompson. And it goes off the stick of Peters. Free hit. Oh, it's just gone over the sideline with McLaren, so Belgium put under pressure again. Really working hard there is Gloyn. Now helping out is Harrison. That was a great steal by McLaren on the reverse stick.
What a pass.
Mikkelsen brings it down brilliantly. Mikkelsen cuts inside. You could see it coming. She goes past another defender into the circle, checks back, looks to shoot. And that was a really good block. A brave, brave block.
Well, and the final tackle, superb, but Mikkelsen knew exactly what she was doing. Lovely overhead ball. Finds Mikkelsen, she then cuts in field. It's that carry position again that lets her go right to left, and again right to left. Then as the defender overcommits, she pulls back on the forehand, and it's just a single touch. Takes the ball away from her as she tries to shoot.
Harrison, a good release, finds McLaren. McLaren into the D, reverse stick shot. De Hoga saves. Swing from Harrison, but it's a miss.
On the backhand from McLaren, chops through. Aileen De Hoog gets her knees together that time better.
That was actually a very good save in the end because it deflected off the defender's stick as well.
It just looks a little bit like, as I replay those saves in my mind from De Hoog, that in the first half her weight was backwards. That first penalty corner, her knees were in a weird position as she dropped. Then the save into a leg guard, she's falling backwards. Then that nutmeg goal, maybe she's just not as full of confidence as she needs to be.
Maybe. We will see as the competition grows. Belgium trying to find a way back in this match. That's a good overhead pass, and now they've got a little bit of space. Numbers inside the deep. Lovely little turn. Still trying to keep possession was Leclerc. I think they're going to go for a referral.
Well, for the action inside the edge of the circle, yes.
Ayana, we're looking for a foot inside the D, please. A penalty corner for Belgium. Thank you.
This is the first time Ayana McLean has been called into action.
watches this exchange. That's initially gone underneath McLaren's stick, but I think it was before that clearance hit. It was ugly inside the circle during the build-up play. Way back before that. Hawkeye will have to be replaying the action inside the circle itself.
Take the whole play, please, Ayana.
Is that a foul? Is that contact initially as it comes in, that foot contact, is that enough to be perceived to be a foul on the cliff?
Is there a stick check here?
A stick check. She's got the ball under control. Is that classified as obstruction inside the circle?
I actually have sympathy with Diana McLean on this one.
Well, I'm going to hang my opinion out at this point and go no advice possible, because I don't think you can. To me, there's nothing clear. Is that stick obstruction in itself? The stick head is away from the ball. You could suggest, as this stick leads away from the ball there, that stick obstruction, not a stick tackle. It's down to interpretation about whether this movement of the stick head away from the ball is perceived to be deliberate obstruction, or whether it's a natural movement of the stick. Can't see any feet in the circle.
Here comes a decision.
Yeah. So we start with a free hit on the sideline, and they lose their referral. Okay, there was no foot, you lose your referral.
So Belgium lose their referral.
Wait for time.
So you will see the little green triangle underneath their name will go red very shortly. One referral per game for each team. If they get it right, they keep it. Get it wrong, they lose it. So Belgium have lost that. How important will that be late in the game if they have another decision that they want to refer upstairs? Charlton on the ball, out to Cadell. Good running by Charlton. A good pass infield to Mary. Mary just didn't bring it under control. She'll pick it up now, though.
Good.
And was just dispossessed. Coming forward now. Bernier dispossessed again. Mikkelsen stick in one hand initially. Just leaves defenders in her wake. Charlton desperate, deflects it in. It comes to Mary again. That surely looked like a foot, and it will be another penalty corner to New Zealand.
I thought at one instance that ball across, the diving move into the circle was a touch too much. This was going to then be an obstruction. Gloyn was going to wear it, but fortunately it's the foot in the end of Foba in the circle.
I agree with you. It was lucky it hit Foba, because Gloyn was really going to feel that one.
As we wait through this last 10 seconds, the video referral I talked about earlier about whether it was a stick obstruction is because the video umpire can look at everything within it.
Well, no McLaren on the pitch at the moment, so it's going to go Brooke, Neal or Mary. Mary usually hits. She does. Deflects up off the stick of Cabernet and over the bar. Or maybe it was a New Zealand stick. I thought it was Cabernet.
It was a New Zealand stick. It was the first deflector when they've run that three-person blocking down the left-hand side. Three opportunities, the triple threat that Kate Richardson-Walsh talks about. It was the first one of the three that got the touch over the crossbar. I think it was Gunson. Gunson leads in here. She just puts the stick out as it comes in. Touches the head of her stick and over the crossbar.
Well, that surely is a little bit dangerous to stick up around head height. Sarvel certainly very animated in her reactions. Is this where Belgium can find another goal? That was good skills initially from Barbara Nayland. Into the D it goes. Desperate defending, so nearly on the end again for Sarvel from a mistake in defence from New Zealand. It's a long corner. Oh, lovely skills again from Nayland. Across the D it goes, collisions going in. Everybody's putting their body on the line now.
Well, Nayland, she drove forward, just touches down on top of that ball, pops it into the turf to get the lift over the trap. Sorry, over the tackle in front of her.
Nayland again managed to get the ball all the way to Grenier, but stolen by New Zealand. Mikkelsen carries it forward, looking for options. There's not much. Needed someone to make a really strong run, and eventually the run does come from Gloin. Gloin got around the back. Good defensive play, though, from Hillevaart.
Fabulous offensive running from Gloin.
Ras now, the captain of Belgium, trying to spark something for her team. Little short pass to Pouvre, plays it early. Hillevaart, who started this move, plays it into the feet. Gets a short, well, no, I think she's been given it for the free hit. No, it is taken. Hillevaart now into the deep. And she was probably a little bit tired there and didn't really want the ball. Ras, though, drives it. It ricochets up off the stick of Charlton.
One of those horrible moments as a player in a defensive unit at that point. Just had to step forwards and lay a stick down and hope it hits the stick and not the knuckles. Getting low and long barrier.
Ladies, come here, come here. It's been a nice game up until now. Let's keep it clean, okay? Let's keep it clean.
There's something
okay?
going on between Francis Davies, I think it was, and Joanne Peters. So it's being spoken to there, off the ball incident. Sure, it was just discussing where they're going to have dinner on the day off tomorrow.
Red ball.
Charles Joubert wasn't involved in the invitation, obviously.
I was trying to think of something clever to say because all I could lip read was keep it clean, but I couldn't think of anything about the quality of the kitchen.
Belgium are certainly knocking on the door at the moment with 4.5 minutes left in this third quarter. They would love to get back on level terms before the final break. Here's Tyson watching on from the side. Stolen again in midfield, and here come the Red Panthers. Great skill from Nayland again. And that was a good sharp save, but given away inside the circle. In the end, Gunson to the rescue. Rutherford made a sharp save, but New Zealand didn't clear their lines.
Well, Nelland's repeating the same skill again and again. That little pop into the turf. How clean the strike was as she got inside the circle. She didn't try and overhit it. Perfectly balanced, super execution.
Barbara Nayland, 3-time Golden Stick winner in the Belgium League.
So as we see Nayland here in the box, she just pops forward. Clip hits it almost as she gets over the white line.
Lovely skills this time from Alex Grenier. Oh, dear me. McLaren just absolutely hip and shouldered it.
That's good. Yeah.
McLaren can be a nuggety little player in the midfield. She may look small and slight, but she is fierce. Almost an imp of mischief, I'll call her.
That is going at the top of her hockey CV, also known as the imp of mischief.
Nayland again, drilled in, deflection was there. Well, it was a brilliant run again from Jill Bone. No wonder she's smiling.
Oh, Bones cut across. Nayland again at the heart edge. A back foot cross to get it early enough. In the end, it's a defensive touch that goes flying across Sally Rutherford's goal. Jill Bone cutting from behind keeper to in front.
Nayland at the moment, if Belgium are going to get something out of this match, their captain has been absolutely, well, Anouk Race is the captain, but Nayland has captained the team in the past. She has been superb. Charlton over halfway. Just slips the ball out to the left-hand side. Ball will come to McLaren. McLaren forced across the top of the circle. Great defending again. Brilliant breaking forward. That was superb play by Michelle Streik. And now Limoges has to just check back, faced with two black shirts. Smith doing well, helped out by Gunson, who's been rock solid at the back for New Zealand. Versavel now collects. Gunson stops her momentarily. And, well, Gunson stops her this time illegally.
There's a twist around Gunson's feet, but a great Belgian passage of play, all started by Michelle Struik as she came out from the back division with some beautiful individual skills. The vision and awareness to take the ball a little bit up to the air, pop it up, and then accelerate through the space. And
here is Guerniers. Another free hit to Belgium. Ball just ran away. Guernier. And that was lifted. So a wasted chance, and here they come again. New Zealand looking to break quickly. Mary pushes it down the line. She knew the run was coming. I'm not sure that's going to be kept in play, but really trying to get on the end of that. It's Madison Dorr.
Well, fair play to Madison Dorr for giving it a go. That was one of those passes that you see that you know what you want to give and you just put a little bit too much on it.
McLaren, well, she thought she'd intercepted it, but Leclerc ended up coming with the ball. Now it's Bone. Bone cuts infield. McLaren got a touch on that, but Leclerc first time's it. That'll be easy for New Zealand. In the final seconds of the third quarter, what a quarter it's been for New Zealand. Trailing at the halftime break 2-1. They came out with 2 goals within 2 minutes and took the lead. Olivia Merry with one of those goals to give them the lead, and Sheila Gloyn with the other. And look how Merry looks tired. She has put in a hard shift as Mark Hager comes out to have a word with her and no doubt tell her what a great job she's done. Score at the final break is New Zealand 3, Belgium 2. What can Niels Tyson say to encourage his players? They've been playing really well, Simon, but they've still got to find that elusive goal.
For me, I think he would be saying, we don't need to do anything. Yes, New Zealand came out of the blocks really quickly for the touch that took it past Aileen de Hooge in the goal. It's that R2 again, L2 again, the low deflection, similar to their first goal, across the goalkeeper, almost a carbon copy, that gave the 2-all, and then the counter-attack pretty much from pushback that falls kindly for Merry. She cuts in, takes it backhand and nutmegs the goalkeeper from the edge of the D. Aileen de Hooge should really have done better with this. Her body weight's going backwards even when the shot comes in. Ends up falling on her backside. It's a lovely clean strike with the leading edge to get the pace. But that's 2 minutes at the start of the quarter. Nellen, however, did come back and she got a lovely clip shot as the ball just rolled over the white line. Short hand swing to make sure she got the ball away.
Well, certainly Olivia Merry doing a really good job with that goal as we go pitch side once more to Krista Cullen.
And I'm here with the Belgian coach. 3-2 down, they're quick succession goals in the start of the second half. How are you going to set these girls up to get what you need, the 3 points for the last quarter?
Yeah, by pointing on the things we knew before the game already we wanted to do well today. I think a little bit more conviction, daring a little bit more. I think we look up to them still a little bit too much, but we're going to try to step over that and try to score a goal in the last quarter. That's what we want.
Perfect, best of luck, Neil.
Into the D, go New Zealand again. Dorr fires it across, the deflection was in front of goal from Merry. Cleaned up. Belgium trying to clear. Again, it comes to Nayland. Takes it to the corner, and then on the reverse, just bangs it up the line, and it goes off the stick of Kettle.
Aileen de Hooge doing very well in front of her own goal as it came across from that right-hand side attack, dropping her body into a lovely barrier in front to deny New Zealand an easy opportunity.
Nayland do create a bit of space. It was getting a little bit busy down this side. Found Pouvre. Pouvre was trying to find Versavel, who made a really good run.
Here we see that replay of the previous chance. It comes down the right, just falling away. Look at de Hooge's body position. The legs are down, the barrier's long. Merry tries to get the touch. De Hooge just taking it in the midriff, allowing teammates to clean up.
Mikkelsen to Cadell. Cadell carries forward, looking to just pull away from Leclerc. Back to Cadell. It wasn't the easiest of passes, and looking to take it away now as Pauline Leclerc feeds it to Bone. Rass was with a good lead, but that's a really good pass. out onto the right-hand side. Bone is inside the D. Versaville trying to get round the back. She does. She was looking for the foot, didn't manage to get it. And New Zealand clean up at the back.
Well, she was also never going to get the obstruction from that. She was running far too quickly away from the ball as she pulled it back.
The microphone comes down. The communication continues on the Belgian bench.
We asked the question, actually, about what Niels Thijssen could ask of his charges, and my honest response is nothing more. I think they've played really well in that third quarter. They've just not made it count.
Here comes Harrison now. Sorry to interrupt, Simon. She's into the D shot. And De Hoge again had to go down just to deflect that over the baseline. Long corner.
Well, no criticism there at all. It was a horrible, horrible bouncing ball. You just want to be safe in that moment. Body behind it.
Mikkelsen now into the circle on the reverse. Good block. Looking for the deflection across the face of goal. Still alive for New Zealand. They just can't get the shot away. Brilliant defence this time from Bone coming back. And she just smashes that up the pitch.
I'm not convinced that's an advantage as that comes in. There was a body on the line. Comes in. That little touch is brilliant. This hits it doesn't hit a body. Actually, fair play. So there isn't an infringement in the middle of that. Really sorry. That's harsh for me on the umpire. She saw that brilliantly.
Well, once again, to be fair, Carolina De La Fuente was perfectly placed to actually see that. So New Zealand are looking for that extra goal. They want to finish this game off. That was drilled into the foot of Foba. Everybody back for Belgium. Played to the baseline, shaped to be hit first time. They're trying to get in around the back. That looked a little bit of a wild challenge. It could well have been a penalty corner, in my opinion, from that challenge. It looked very ugly. But Versaville is going to get the free hit.
Here we see the challenge. It comes in. That challenge there. The ball, you could argue the ball was away and out of control, but that is, oh, agricultural at best.
I'm glad you agree with me, Simon. It's the sort of challenge I used to attempt. Charlton hammers it up the side, but it's giving possession back to Belgium. Oh, and here's a great chance on the reverse for Bone. She's put it wide, but again, brilliant defensive recovery from Mikkelsen. Saw the danger, just made it hard for Bone.
Mikkelsen, I think, he missed the first touch. She steps forwards, recovers and steps in, just does enough. Possibly a little bit of a nudge to the hip as the shot's coming in.
Mikkelsen now on the ball for New Zealand, driving forward. That was a brave challenge from Pouvre. Certainly broke up the attack.
Yeah, but she was right, though.
Another free hit to New Zealand as we enter the final 10 minutes of this match. New Zealand with the lead at the moment. Can they hang on to it? Can they stretch it? That's the question. Comes out wide now to Rose Cadell. Cadell moving one way, then the other. Through the first pair of legs she managed to go, but not through the second. And again, Belgium anywhere will do just to ease the pressure.
It does feel, though, if they're going to use that as a tactic, if Jill Bone's going to try and clear a ball from deep inside that part of the pitch, then Belgium do need to leave one target player, only one target player, to give them that long ball release. Otherwise, it's just going to come back with interest within 10 seconds.
And Charlton is coming more and more into the game. If you look, she gets the ball now. She's just pushed into that midfield, just as a sort of covering player, as a screen before of the defence. And he's doing a good job there as the ball comes wide to Mikkelsen. Stolen again. Good tackle from Struik. We've seen how she loves to dribble forward, looks to cut infield.
Been penalised for obstruction. It's something we've spoken about before, that carry position. If you carry with the ball behind your left foot and your right shoulder leading, you're creating an obstruction with your body. And that's what she's penalised for, because she allowed the ball to be behind her as she ran.
Gave the defenders no chance to make a tackle. Stolen though now. Vines releases the ball, continues her run. Limoges is looking for an option wide. She now finds it. There's numbers inside the circle for Belgium. Mikkelsen is there first, just takes it away from Struik. Limoges trying to close down Mikkelsen. She doesn't panic. And that's good, but McLaren's going to have to scurry. She was a sprinter in her heyday. But even though she dives to try and get it, it is Belgium who come up with the ball. Carried forward by Hillevaart. Into the foot it goes. Free hit Belgium. Hillevaart over the ball. Plays on. No, she doesn't. She just waits a little bit longer. Just need to play it to the back of the circle, which is where it went, but not cleared again. Belgium, in they go. McLaren desperately reaches and gets there first. Pass, though, doesn't make its mark, and it's picked up again by Belgium. Van den Bora has to just turn back. Still alive for them, looking for the foot. Doesn't get the free hit. Sticks low down by the Black Sticks. Good defending by them. Mikkelsen again. She decides to carry out a defence. Plays it, I think, into the foot of Pouvret. Although we're going to have the ball from the side.
Well, very much turnover, or 45 seconds of one team carrying to the other. The tackles coming in and possession being changed. Just needed a moment of composure, possibly even slow the game down, find the space, run to it.
There's Cadell. Back to Neil Gunson. Directed pass. Forward inside the D, across the face of goal, deflected away from goal. Done well, and it's gonna go in. No, it's not. No, it's wide. And
that's a penalty stroke. That's off the defender on the line. Penalty stroke's been given. Ball comes in. It was a lovely ball. Great open hands across the circle. Ball punched in. Defensive foot there. Could have been a corner. Aileen de Hoger on it. And then finally, the smashed ball at goal from Davies. Pops it, falls back in here as it comes away. And she steps in and gives it everything. Defender brave on the line, but spins away. That's inside the post. Well, to me, that's a penalty stroke. That's a legitimate shot on goal.
Hillevaart was the player on the line that was struck. Is this an umpire referral?
Yeah, there's a review going on. Belgium immediately went to Carolina de la Fuente.
Well, they didn't have a referral. They lost theirs. So it must be an umpire referral.
Must be. She's looking at this. This is forehand. That's not a problem. That's in there. There's a foot there. There's two sticks caught. But the ball stays on. There's no whistle at this point. That's when the ball comes backwards. That's hit on the line. That's inside the post. So I don't think there's any problem with the defender being in the line of the shot to goal.
It must be, as I say, an umpire referral because Belgium had lost theirs. It's just whether there's something before that is a problem.
Well, is that from Merry? Is that hitting the back of the defender's stick, Foba's stick in the build-up? And then the discussion will be about danger. The penalty corner rule, as I understand it, of the first runner being within 5 meters doesn't count in open play. It's all about whether the defender, the shot's perceived to be dangerous. Is this a back stick in the build-up?
Well, Merry immediately appeals for a penalty corner as the ball comes there. Up she goes. Watch your arms go up. Penalty corner, please.
That's a fair shot into the goalkeeper. A drive round. Does Merry now, when this ball comes across, look at the blue stick in the middle of the picture as it comes through. Does it hit? It misses the ball, hits the defender's foot. I don't think there's any action in there that could be considered influencing play. Two players getting the stick caught.
Here's the decision.
Okay. Drop.
Yeah.
Let me explain to you. Where the captain?
Shot
yes.
on goal hits the
No
defender.
danger because you are in the goal place, and I check all the other situations. No, okay, sorry. I check, okay?
So there we did hear Carolina de la Fuente saying, look, I checked.
But importantly saying she checked everything within the play, which she's entitled to do. Just review this for me, please.
Wait for my whistle, okay?
So
Ready, goalkeeper?
looking to make it 4-2 to New Zealand. Aileen de Hoger fired home. Merry gets her second. New Zealand get their fourth. Smiles finally on the face of Olivia Merry.
Ailing the Hoger, unfortunately, get done with the disguise. This is the incident that leads to the goal. Defender absolutely inside the post.
So it's going to be really difficult now for Belgium to come back, but we saw 2 goals within 2 minutes from New Zealand, so there's no reason why Belgium can't do the same.
Well,
and if they give possession away like that, Limoges bursting forward into the D, she goes, Rutherford comes, great save. Had to come out and block well with her pads.
Rutherford reading that as well as De Hoog did for Belgium in the first half on the backhand. Limoges bursting through the middle, chose to go to backhand, perceived that she could hit it harder on that side.
Really penalised as Kenier went over the top.
5's okay.
Do you just feel Belgium may well have a goal in them still before the end of this match? They've certainly battled hard. New Zealand, though, go in search of a 5th. Good break down the left-hand side from Gloin. Stays in play. Or no, it doesn't.
So here's the backhand shot. Limoges gets everything on it. Brilliant goalkeeping from Rutherford. Gets the legs on top of each other in a double stack. Creates a really strong barrier on that direct line to goal.
Picked up by Van der Meren. This will mean the 2 rivals from down under will be top of Pool D. New Zealand and Australia. We're going to have to get your thoughts soon, Simon, on the Vitality player of the match, who you feel has been the dominant player for either side.
It's been interesting as that's changed during the course of the game, as New Zealand and Belgian dominance has swung backwards and forwards. There might be a couple more twists yet. I'll have a think, though.
OK, well, let us know. We've only got 4 minutes left, so we've got to come up with it before the end of the game. I agree, Nayland has been superb for Belgium.
I would agree.
A good save again from Rutherford. Great shot from the edge of the circle. So a long corner to Belgium. Nayland forced to go backwards. Now there's a little bit of space for Leclerc, closed down. And the ball just clipping the New Zealand foot. Charlton saying it was a hand. It's not going to see the umpires change their decision. Leclerc, and that goes in and out for a long corner. Belgium fans finding their voice, trying to urge their team home. The Red Panthers on the prowl. Leclerc, in it goes. Can they get the shot away? Desperate defending. Brilliant defending by McLaren. Mikkelsen looked to try and feed it to McLaren and then just waits for the ball to dribble out of play. Belgian players couldn't tackle her. They were too close. Have you got a decision for us, Simon? You're nodding your head there.
Yeah, I haven't gone through it. I think Nayland for the Belgian side has been outstanding across so many different areas. For New Zealand, Mikkelsen and McLaren have been brilliant as they burst through midfield. But it's a player that you mentioned, quite underrated at times, that I'm going to give it to, which is Olivia Merry. Yes, she scored the goals that she has done, but it's been some selfless running up front to create space for others that I think has made the real difference for New Zealand. So for me, the player of the match is the New Zealand number 4, Olivia Merry.
Oh, so that's why I say she's underrated, because she does work so hard off the ball and create space for her fellow strikers.
Yeah, well, it's fallen to her sometimes. It's been second and third phase, so she's led away to create space because New Zealand like to run that ball through midfield. There's no point in her congesting it.
Good steal by Bone. Fighting back to get the ball was Cadell. She got it. And then trying to get it back again. And slump of the shoulders when the decision didn't go away from Struijk. New Zealand trying to play their way out. Mikkelsen weaving magic as usual. Somehow just keeps it glued to the end of her stick. Watched well by Bone. Short pass infield, picked up though by Leclerc. that was just a tired pass, you could tell. See what she was doing, but just the execution wasn't quite as crisp as it would have been in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was just a second behind when it needed to be. It was tired. It was an athlete who just didn't have any rotation.
And here is Mary. Mary inside the circle. Good tackle, takes the ball away from her from Foba. We're approaching the final minute. Belgium look as if they're facing defeat against the Black Sticks. And of course it will mean New Zealand have got that extra goal in the goal difference from Australia with their victory. Australia just beating Japan by the 1 goal. So this 2-goal cushion, very, very important as to who goes through top of Pool D. Remember, the top team goes straight through to the quarterfinals, and then the second and third teams will play off against the other second and third teams in the other pools.
But indeed, and as you're describing that, Ashley, Stacey Mickelson with a fantastic piece of individual skill to carry the ball out of trouble.
Rose Cadell weaving her way forward, plays it in. Unlucky, Gloyn just couldn't get on the end of that. In fact, I think it was Dorr, not Gloyn.
What a hit. That's a last-second hit, but it's beautifully executed from Mickelson.
And Cadell takes it into the corner, 6 seconds left. Doesn't mind that Belgium have got it. New Zealand have had to battle hard. They took the lead, they lost the lead, they won the lead back, and they've won the match. Belgium, though, have shown that they are a formidable team, and they're going to make it difficult for the other teams in their group, Japan and Australia. But a really strong performance by the Black Sticks. And they've got the victory they needed. Rutherford, well, she made a few good saves in the end. May have been a little bit at fault with the second goal. She made up for it in the second half. And Aisling de Heuge, again, some good saves. And you can see how painful it is as a goalkeeper when you're on the losing side, no matter how well you play. What a game we've witnessed. New Zealand 4, Belgium 2. That was their first game in Pool D, and we look now at the ladder in Pool D. And on goal difference, New Zealand go on top. Australia and New Zealand both with a win in their opening games. Japan and Belgium, well, they're going to look for victories in their upcoming games as we go pitch side to Krista Cullen.
And I'm here with Olivia Merry, goal scorer of 2 of the goals today. 4-2, must be nice to get off to a win as the start of the World Cup campaign for you.
Yeah, I guess it's a long wait for us, being the very, very last game, so I guess we've watched a lot of hockey over the last 2 days, and so it's pretty cool to be out here and actually finally playing.
And it looked like a little bit of a battle, you know, between the 2 teams. It was a bit physical out there. You know, is that the sort of game that we're looking forward to seeing more of from New Zealand?
Yeah, I guess we always try and put out a physical performance, you know, on and off the ball, so I guess, yeah, more of that.
And then finally, looking a bit more forward after having got your 3 points, now looking to Japan. Did you watch that game, and what are you kind of expecting?
Yeah, we did sit down and watch that game, and they're a very dangerous team on the counter-attack, and they sort of put 2 goals away pretty late in the game, and I think that's something that Japan are really good at, is their counter-attack, so I guess we have to be very wary of that.
Thanks very much, and best of luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.